Okay, so we're going to go through mock interview 2. So we have Sam, who's going to be mock interviewed, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to show sort of a weaker and a stronger version of the interview. So again, I'm going to do voiceover and talk through it. So if you would like to watch just the original with no voiceover, it's linked in the slides. But for now, let's just watch the interview with Sam.
Okay, so hi, Sam. We're going to get started with our interview. How are you doing?
I'm feeling a bit optimistic. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, great. Okay, so you got the code prompt that I sent you, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so go ahead and share your screen with me.
It's a little weird to say that you're feeling optimistic. It's fine though, but very confident.
You have the code prompt in the comments?
Yes, I do actually. Let me... Actually, where'd it go? Share screen. Mock. There we go.
Okay, right. I can see that. So can you start by just reading off the code prompt and then just get started?
All right. So two strings are set to be anagrams of one another if you can turn the first string into the second by rearranging its letters. Okay, so just thinking about it, we're going to have two strings, anagrams. They're obviously going to be rearranged differently. I'm thinking since... definitely I'm going to try to go for something probably because we can try to look at different permutations and different combinations that it has.
So right away, Sam is talking a lot, so he's doing a good job with that.
Something probably along the lines of a recursion. So I'm going to try to go more towards that path and see how it goes. I'll just write something up and see how it goes. So first, of course.
Okay, but it is not clear that he even understands the problem at this point. He just mentioned something about recursion, and then he's like, let's see how it goes.
First thing, let's see. First, we're going to have string 1. Actually, I need to probably include... I don't remember what it is. I'm just going to guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. String 1 equals...
Sam has a lot of language like this throughout his interview. A lot of like, I don't know, I'm just going to guess. A lot of like really casual, like, I don't care that much about how this works or these details. And that doesn't give off like the best vibe.
Oh. Sure. And then string 2. Just for reference to see how it goes. So we have two strings. We're trying to see if there is some... we're going to try to look at different permutations. Something with recursion, so I'm just going to write a recursion and just try to go at it.
He keeps talking about permutations.
But it's going to return a Boolean because we're checking if they are recursion or not. Or, yeah, let's see. Boolean, of course, doesn't work. Bool. There we go. And then just give it a name.
He is talking a lot,
now,
though.
Doesn't matter.
He's saying
and then we're going to give it the two
pretty much
strings.
Everything that he's
string 1.
typing.
2. And let's see. Of course, we're going to make it return something at least for now. So I'm going to just try to dive into the recursion and see if I can hit some stuff. So
just checking in here. So you're trying to write a function that's going to return true if the two words are anagrams of each other? Is that your plan?
Yeah,
okay.
yes, exactly. So
and that's going to be a recursive function?
Yeah. So the function 1 in itself is going to be a recursion function that just keeps going through the different permutations of the string 1 and try to see if it can match up with the string 2, and then it's going to return it true. That's how it's going to go so far.
So he kind of talked about his approach. He's saying that somehow he's going to get all the different combinations of the letters in one of the strings and compare it to the second string, assuming that not one time if there's a match, that means they're anagrams. But we don't even really know what the problem is at this point because he hasn't really talked about it. But basically an anagram is when two words have the same letters but they're in different order. And he also has started off right away with some bad style, writing function 1, and again he keeps repeating the same thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna write a function that does some recursion. Like that isn't important. It's more important how your recursion is going to solve the problem. He also has a lot of like very confident language that you should pay close attention to. That is really off-putting, especially when it's not backed by correct implementation.
So I'm just gonna see. Definitely have string B, and that one will be. So I'm trying to try to get everything that I found so far in one place, and then have the rest continue to permutate until we find the specific value that we need.
So just you're thinking about taking one string and finding all the possible.
So he's talking a lot, but he's not really saying anything that is helpful to the interviewer. So all of his talking is just kind of actually distracting from the solution because the things he's saying aren't really making logical sense.
Permutations of it. Do you have any sense of like what the big O of that is?
So since we're going to be doing recursion, I would assume it's going to be O of n. I'm trying to think if there's going to be any necessary function calls that might increase it during the recursion. Probably going through the different permutations as well as recursion. Probably n squared, something along these lines.
Okay.
So it's not.
So he is just confidently answering questions without any backing to them. So he's like, oh, it's recursive, so it's log n, or so it's O of n, which doesn't make any sense. And then he's just like, oh, because we're doing recursion. He's like trying to make it sound like he knows what he's talking about, but an interview is gonna see right through that, right? And so it's really, really dangerous to talk confidently about things and those things be incorrect.
Maybe n log n, I'm not sure actually, because maybe we're going to go through the middle and such, but not really 100%. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going so far with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm definitely going to.
And since he
try to
doesn't
go
know,
for-
he's just
I'm just going to do an
trying to
if statement.
brush
I
off
go
the
through it,
whole
yeah.
conversation.
Instead of having it, so we just have string 3. The string 3 is kind of omitted.
He just
Just have
basically
an if
said
statement
all
that
the
goes through the
complexity
permutation and you recurse while the operations are happening.
Okay.
So if function 1, and then I'm going to have to give it a different string. I'm guessing. Maybe I do need to have a string. I think I'm going to just do a string. Yeah, I'll make a string 3, give it. You need to have 1 dot. So we need a specific set of strings. And let's just say, oh, we might need a for loop then. So we can loop through all of the words. Yeah, okay. So I'll try, at least for now, let's just take that all off. For loop, int I equals 0,
Deleting code is
I smaller
very
than
dangerous.
the
Just
1
deleted a
dot
bunch
size.
of work.
And then I plus. Then inside the for loop, now we have the string. We can just try to do string 3 equals.
So
and then
again, we have no
specific
idea
places.
where he's
So,
going with this, and so the fact that he's going down the wrong path
let's
is
do
really dangerous because it's going to lead
So you're trying
to
to
nothing.
get the permutations here?
Yeah, so basically trying to take it from one certain place and then continue with it.
Okay.
So these are going to be the different permutations from 0 to 0 to I, and then definitely one from substring I to I1. So take it in from 0 to I, and then we also want to include I plus 1. Okay.
What does it mean when you call substring with 2 parameters versus 1 parameter?
So the 2 parameters basically takes or returns the substring taken from 0 to the ith index. I'm pretty sure it's what is it called, inclusive. Mm-hmm. And then for the 1 parameter, if I remember correctly, it only gives returns back the specific character at that index.
Okay.
So he's doing a good job.
So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Good job
And
answering
So
the
that'd be
question.
like it's a shorter.
Yeah.
So
small.
why not just go from 0 to I plus 1 then? Or why do you need to concatenate?
Oh yeah, you know what? That is true. I could have just done that. Yeah.
So here he's also
that.
responding
Right,
well
right.
to the interviewer. And
Let's do that. And then I'm going to do an if statement. Now I'm going to actually check function 1. I'll put in 3 in here, 2, and then I'm just going to not sure how.
so he's kind of breaking a big rule with writing recursive functions where
it's
he has
false.
not written a base case. And so he really
gonna
has
have to-
no idea how to end the recursion or how to call the recursion or even what his recursion is trying to do. He's getting really,
More
really
of a global
stuck
orientation
in this
recurse.
recursive
the for
function
loop.
writing.
Not sure actually.
And because he didn't plan it out, he's like
Yeah.
pretty deep into.
I'm not sure actually right now. Let me see.
Right, you're kind of stuck in recursion a little bit? Or?
Yeah. I think I had the right idea. I can't think of how to go from there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because
Now he's
check all the
kind of
permutations and then
stopped, which is
see if you can find the
really not a good sign.
specific combination, and then once you find that, you can skip that part because you know it's correct, and then go to the rest of the words.
Okay, well, we're
Yeah.
just about up on time. Do
Oh.
you have any final thoughts about the problem that you want to give me, or?
I mean, this is definitely a rough one. Did not expect it, but I'd say it's. I want to say it's intermediate. That's a difficulty. I feel like it could have been.
So the interviewer, imagine this was much longer. We didn't want to drag on this. This could happen for 20, 30, 40 minutes of just painfully digging yourself into a hole that you can't really get out of. And, out of time, can't finish the solution, doesn't really have anything to show for it, especially because he was deleting stuff. And the interviewer is giving him one last chance to kind of okay, well, do you have any other thoughts? Maybe we could come up with some other solution. You didn't get to it, you didn't come to this solution, but can you at least talk through it, one last chance? And Sam is instead giving feedback about the difficulty of the problem and his preparation, which is not what the question was about.
A bit more prepared with it, but definitely, I think this problem it could be done maybe not using recursion, but that's kind of the first thing that I thought. And it's definitely an interesting kind of prompt. I'll have to keep thinking through it, actually.
Kind of
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was really nice
No
meeting
problem. Yeah, thanks.
going
You too.
on and on about something just to have something to say. And again, that's like a pretty common theme with that interview, is like saying a lot of words that don't really have a lot of meaning to them. So in this particular example, some of the things that really needed to be improved is really talking too much, but not saying much. Very rushed, like not taking any time to think or giving yourself any time to think. Didn't spend any time thinking through the problem, clarifying questions on the problem, writing out examples. Went right into code without explaining why or what they were trying to do. And that is most dangerous when you don't get there, right? You want to set yourself up for all the possible failures that can come along the interview. Even when you're implementing something, when you're kind of more on the right track, you can get stuck. So without giving us any sense of where he was going, he just kind of dug himself into a recursion hole. He also gave up, which you don't want to do. So he got to this point where he was just like, I don't know how to do this anymore. And if you get to that point, you should really start asking questions, going through examples, rethinking the problem, and that kind of thing. He had some bad style, like the bad function name. And then some of the time he was answering questions very incorrectly, but very overconfident. Like, not that confidence is a great thing, but overly confident about things that were not correct and trying to brush them off like he understood them, which is just going to be something that's going to be able to be seen right through. So that is mock interview 2.